Hello, Guardians, and welcome to Destiny Reset, episode 161. This podcast is about anything and everything related to the Destiny franchise. If you love playing Destiny 2 as much as we do, you're in the right place. This reset, we spend one last week preparing for Forsaken, go one more round with the Drifter and Gambit, and look at the roadmap ahead into year 2 of Destiny 2. Hello, Guardians, and welcome. It's AER0KNIGHT, and of course, CyborgSasquatch. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, buddy.
I'm so excited.
I know. We're trying to play it cool, but it's just not possible. We might as well just unleash. We're
can't do that.
Hours away from...
One sleep away.
Yes,
We're
basically one sleep.
On Reset's Eve.
Mm-hmm.
Prepared to be forsaken.
Yes. Oh, and it's so exciting. I mean, I basically today, as soon as I checked my feeds, I'm like, yep, I think I might have to officially check out today.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's just too much that got lifted, too much stuff going up. And
floodgates were opened.
Yes, they were. that little trip apparently that some made last week to the Bungie Studios, it has been unleashed.
Yep.
So,
well, this week we're going to talk about all the big news in Destiny. But first, we have a couple of announcements for you.
Yes, we do have some announcements this week. I think it's like a giveaway, just central here in the last couple episodes.
Free
First announcement. Yes. DRP, the free headquarters. All right. We've been teasing for a while now, guys. All of you wonderful Guardians that have been leaving us iTunes reviews. We've got a couple different things that we're going to give away to you. But one of those things is some blue loot, some blue microphone loot. Basically, your choice of Blue Lolas or a Blue Yeti microphone. And we did pick a winner out of the last many reviews that we've gotten. And congratulations to Lieutenant Cunningham.
LT Cunningham.
Yes. Congratulations.
You left us a review on Apple Podcasts. And so you were entered to win, and you have won your choice of Blue Lola headphones or a Blue Yeti microphone. So we're going to give you one reset to contact us and claim your prize. Email us at destinyresetpodcast@gmail.com and we'll get in touch and hopefully get that shipped out to you.
Yes.
Congrats.
And very quick about the ships.
Yo, and thank everybody that left a review. I mean, goodness, we got...
Oh, yes.
What we were saying? Probably beyond, 60, 70 new reviews in the past several months. I mean,
we broke the 200 with ease. So, yes, thank you guys so much. I mean, it means a lot to us.
It's huge.
No question. So
a lot of folks will be able to find us once Forsaken launches to come and listen to Destiny chatter.
Yes.
And so that's... it's going to be awesome. We appreciate
the
that
other thing
support.
too. I mean, we just rounded up by saying thank you for leaving a review, but we do read the head or the subject and the actual review you leave, and it does warm our hearts. It's
when we need a little
nice.
pick me up, we just go to those little reviews and just get showered with praise. We appreciate that.
We do very much.
We had another couple giveaways as well this week. We gave away 2 copies of Forsaken, the expansion. We gave one away on Twitter, as we talked about, and we also did a little surprise giveaway on Discord. If you're a member of the Discord, we occasionally do giveaways just there. So congrats to Tater T-Hot, who won on Twitter, and our longtime fam member JH Sweeps for winning the Discord contest.
Yes.
They get
congratulations, guys.
A free copy of Forsaken.
That's pretty awesome. You know, I mean, it didn't sound like they had reserved it yet either. So that's got to be
it worked out.
Pretty exciting.
Worked out well.
Yes, very well.
One last giveaway. I did tease the past couple weeks when we hit 200 reviews on Apple Podcasts, I'd throw open that loot vault, give away some of my extra Destiny swag. So I went through my closet full of nerd junk and pulled out all the extra different stuff that I had. And I literally laid it all out and picked the best items I had, in my opinion, as a Destiny merch collector.
I think they trust your opinion.
Pick some of the best, the coolest stuff I thought. There may be stuff that other people might like besides this, but I thought they were cool items. And I packaged that up with a, what it's called, the blue, what is it called? Their package. I want to say.
Oh, the Yeti caster.
Yeti caster. There we go.
Yep. You got it.
Sorry, Blue. I almost called it the Boom Caster, but that's not what it's called. It's basically a package of a Blue Yeti Blackout Edition with their Compass mic arm and a Radius 3. What is this little guy called that you put your mics in?
Shock mount.
Shock mount. There you go. I'm so lucky to have you to.
Hey, dude, it's teamwork, right?
Always fill in these words that I can't remember. All right, so that's the whole package. There's a whole bunch of cool Destiny swag with this Yeti caster. You can enter to win if you go to my Twitter. There's a link. It's a Gleam giveaway. Helps kind of organize all that stuff and help make sure everybody gets good entries and it's all officially done. It's well done. So go check that out. It's going to be open until next reset, the 11th, and then we'll close it out, pick a winner, and I'll announce it on Twitter.
Yes.
So
More
still
loots.
another chance to get some more stuff, and then we'll be giving away some more blue stuff this week.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just actually sent my info to Blue for my Yeti caster winner. So
nice.
Dude, it's just giveaway central, like we said. Yeah, there'll be more. Don't worry, guys. There'll be more.
Yes. All right. That's all the announcements, though. No more giveaways, announcer, closer, whatever. I'm giving away all my love this week. That's it.
Save some for me, man.
Okay. All right.
Please.
I save it every week.
Yes. At least
This
for
week,
an hour
though,
or two.
at Bungie, we're on Final Approach. So this was the last blog update before Forsaken, as they call it. This play on words. Before Forsaken. We got a launch trailer this reset that was pretty cool.
Oh, dude.
Whew.
What did you think? We haven't talked since
So many,
minus text.
So many things happening.
Dude. Yeah.
We see some reactions to Cade's death. Probably the biggest news of the year. Our Guardian spoke.
Tell me about it. Dude, it gave me chills, man.
My God.
Like, I was like, wait a second. Hold on. Rewind. Like,
that was,
what?
Wait, was that us? Yeah, that was us.
Like, hold on. It was us. And probably, I'm sure it felt awesome for everybody, but then, on top of that, it was a Titan and I'm a Titan, so I'm sure in the game, of course, it will be I would think it would be your Guardian.
That's a good point because like in some of the other stuff they did, like they showed the Guardian primarily as a hunter and then they chose a Titan for this sequence. That's a good point. I didn't even think about that.
But dude, yeah. And I mean, call me if you want to call me, whatever, say I'm just losing it. I'm crazy. I mean, I was so pumped after this, dude. I'm ready to go, man. And then our Guardian speaking, I got chills. I'm like, I tweeted out like, this is like Mass Effect 2 launch trailer hype, man. Yeah. Like,
sure.
this,
I remember that.
I still go watch
trailer.
that trailer.
Oh
dude.
man. Yeah,
dude,
I just lost it. I lost it when the Guardian spoke.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't listened like for a super long time, you'll know that I've had a problem with our Guardian not speaking for a while.
Not having a voice, yeah.
Basically for the past 3 years since Vanilla Destiny, and that was an especially sore spot for me at the Destiny 2 campaign. So I'm pretty excited to see that.
Dude, and then at the end, like, I actually just went and watched it again tonight, and at the end, with the spider, like the music,
yeah, man.
it's just like the piano, like the just real soft and subtle, and it just fades to black.
That was pretty crazy. They showed off this spider character because they hadn't up till now. Like there hasn't been any art, just nothing. We just heard like he was kind of a guy, a fallen guy, and I totally had this theory together that he was Varix, but that doesn't seem to be the case. I'm thinking this seems like a new character. It's totally got a different voice.
Yeah. Yep.
Disappointed, but intrigued.
Dude, I just now had to go back and watch it because I couldn't remember the one-liner that he drops there. But right when that instrumental is just going over, he just says, "Do we have a deal?"
Yeah, that kind of like caps off the trailer.
Dude.
Like, what's the deal? Like, what is this deal with the devil that we're bargaining for his help? Like,
and yeah, like he's obviously got some beef with Uldren, so he's.
And they mentioned like when they announced the story for this expansion that we would be out of the kind of the oversight of the Vanguard, and we would be kind of in some morally gray territory. So
yeah,
I'm interested what this deal shakes out to be and what it will mean for the Destiny universe.
Yeah, they're really playing on this like Star Wars light and dark type of feel about it,
especially the most recent Star Wars trilogy, because Uldren keeps having these lines about like the line between light and dark is thin or something like that. Which side are you on? Like, oh man, I don't even know.
I know. I'm so ready though, dude.
I'm
on
on
that
my
trailer.
Side.
It's just such a great launch trailer. You guys will have to tweet at us at Destiny Reset. Let us know what you thought. But man, I don't know that I could have gotten any more pumped up, but that trailer pretty much
pretty good trailer, man.
Yep.
Pretty good trailer. And then as well, they put all this stuff out like all at once, like back
it was
to back.
Insane
That day. That was that Thursday or was it Wednesday? I don't remember.
I can't remember. It was not too long after.
It was Tuesday because
it was Tuesday. Yeah.
They pushed it out a day because of the Madden event that happened.
Yep. Because we recorded kind of early that week with Houndish, and then I was thinking we were going to get a trailer or two, and then it was just like overload.
Oh, it was a ton of stuff. So next thing we got was a vid doc, which, man, I love these so much.
Yep, me too.
So they talked about basically what's coming up over the next year and their philosophy, and my favorite line, like right out of the gate. I think it was Steve Cotton, and he's like, "We want to make Destiny weird again."
Yeah, I know.
That speaks to me so much.
Yep.
I love that. That just tells me so much about what they're trying to do that I appreciate. But I was really surprised how in depth we got into the upcoming expansions. Like,
oh yeah,
I totally didn't expect for them to kind of lay out this much about the upcoming content, like right out of the gate like this. So that was pretty exciting,
though, right?
Yeah,
like that's something the community's been asking for a long time, and it's definitely not something the community as a whole needs to gloss over. I mean, we're talking about, they're asking for this annual pass, for us to jump all in with the annual pass and to get, I mean, this is what you want as a player. I mean, I don't want it to sound like, man, they just went way beyond. As a player, you want a roadmap like this, but man, did they nail it. Like there's a couple things in it that, are like, hey, we're still kind of fine tuning this, but like as an overall, hey, this is what you're going to get over the next year. I mean, this is excellent.
Yeah, right. So we know there's, definitely going to be stuff in between, things that are going to come up with sandbox changes and, alterations to stuff as we get closer to things about, updates and just who knows, but that's always going to be the case. But I think they really found this roadmap to be effective, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And they doubled down on that idea with, hey, you know, not just about the development, but like, here's the plan. Here's what we've got lined up. We're working on all this content. We know exactly what it's going to be. And I've never seen this much just loaded up in the chamber ready for us to play, you know?
Yeah, dude. And as a player, I mean, it just kind of, you know, I can't imagine. I mean, they're working on all of this stuff anyways, but normally, you know, they don't tell us this much information that far ahead. So they've obviously been listening to feedback. But as a player, I mean, it definitely kind of puts you at ease, you know? I mean, I'm sure at a certain point, they're like, wow, I'm glad we've been working on this stuff for so long. We've kind of told them about it. So, you know, it makes them, you know, maybe even feel a little bit at ease on their end. But as a player, you're like, okay, I feel so great about investing most of my gaming time into this game and this franchise because I know pretty well what I can expect from it, you know, over the next year.
Yeah.
That's exactly what this is. So
I guess a couple of the cool bullet points that we can look at. We see when Iron Banner returns in September, the new Crucible map. In the immediate future, we've got a date on the new Crucible mode breakthrough right after that, September 25th, with new Crucible maps. Festival of the Lost is returning with a twist.
I'm hoping with a massive overhaul, right?
Yeah, it's been out for a while, so that should be fun to see what they can do with that.
Mm-hmm.
And then
scrap it.
Further down the line, we know in December we get the new season of the Forge. What do you think about how they're naming the seasons now?
I like it, man. I mean,
I like how there's a theme.
Yeah, there's a theme. It comes across as even more prepared and more, you know, like looking to the future. I mean, they've named them, right?
Yeah, there's an overall, you know, theme and something tying everything together. And so we get the Black Armory, and they list a new activity called Forges of the Chain.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Get
It's
the
all
new raid lair. Yeah, access to the Black Armory and all kinds of other accoutrement that comes along with that. And free stuff, you know, free seasonal stuff. Oh, man. And heavy machine guns returning. Oh, isn't it so cool how they just kind of do it as like, it's almost like an event.
Yep. Dude, that was something they said at the summit too. We specifically asked them that, and they're like, "No, they're not coming back." And we didn't like that was the answer for us. So now, like to get the few
might
keys
change their mind
and see
obviously.
And now they're coming back.
I wouldn't want to think they were just flat out lying, but maybe the fact that they were brought up made them like
reconsider. And I think a big part of it too is, you know, everything there was looking at September, so they you know they weren't for Forsaken, so you know I think that was the answer there, and maybe they had already knew, you know, planning for the future they might make a return or something. But I mean, people are excited. People love their LMGs.
Your embargo fully comes up tomorrow, right? On the the event.
Every I mean, it's basically almost fully been lifted with everything that's come out. But yeah, the full embargo, every single tier releases when Forsaken releases.
Cool.
So
we'll have to come back to that, you know, if there's stuff to talk about, like if there's things that you felt could be interesting and stuff that you couldn't just fully flesh out until then maybe we can even grab a couple of the guys that were there, you know, as well. And
that'd be really cool.
Kind of talk about it.
That'd be fun.
We got to get Myelin and Mercules on. So we get both of those guys.
Yes, we do. Yep.
If you're listening, guys, slide in those DMs. So back to Season of the Forge. And then finally, of course, we see a Return of the Dawning. You can see that come back. And then for the spring, dude, this is fascinating. Season of the Drifter.
Yep.
So I'm so excited. There's a whole event or, you know, piece of content around this dude.
Yeah.
because
That's what. Yeah.
playing. I played hours Saturday night when the trial was up, and got to really focus more on the actual gameplay and like what was going on and all the dialogue and stuff. And this guy is obviously already becoming a very very popular Destiny character.
Yeah. Yep.
Because he has no filter. He's got some really funny dialogue. Have you caught some of the stuff? Like, have you seen on Reddit some of the stuff?
Bits and pieces. Yeah.
It's funny.
Well, this is what I like about Bungie and this franchise is that they don't just throw stuff in it and they're done with it. Like Christopher Barrett in that vidoc, he says, like, okay, when Joker's Wild comes up, we're going to really, dive into this character and who the Drifter is. And you're going to learn about what is in this massive rock that he's pulling on his ship and why he has that. And it's like, dude, how cool is that? Like, they don't just say, here's this one-off character, all the time. And, here, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's awesome to get, even if you have to dive into the lore that we're getting a lot back with this release. Like, it's still cool that they intertwine it into the world and it's not just, like, okay, here's this person.
Not like just a tacked on NPC.
Yeah.
Like, they put a little thought into
it. There's a reason, you see certain things, and hopefully, eventually in a DLC or something, we'll learn more about it, right?
Yeah.
So this is it exactly. Yeah.
So it's really cool. Also, they mentioned Gambit Evolves.
Oh, yep. Isn't that cool?
Got
though?
the wheels spinning on there, man, right there.
Right? I'm sitting there thinking like they're all pumped. The whole Guardian world has played Gambit now, and they just got to sit back and see what people thought. And then we see this little bullet point in there, and it's like they're already thinking about, what's ahead for Gambit, right?
And it made me think about how they have the ability, if they wanted, to have multiple Gambit gameplay modes. It doesn't have to just be run that way. They could have different variations of that activity, just like in the Crucible, where you have like control and you have clash and you have elimination and this and that. They could do that with this activity and have a whole lot of different things that they could add and build on. If the mode's popular, and if people like it a lot, they could spend some real time there.
Yep. It's
exciting.
Yeah. It's very exciting.
I played it and had a ball this Saturday, so I'm pretty pumped about this activity. A lot of people are.
It's cool. I think a lot of people feel like it's made for Destiny, and it's what Destiny needs or needed. It just feels like a mode that is built for Destiny, and I think that's what it's got people excited, and it's fun. I mean, if it wasn't fun,
it's just fun. And then finally, summer 2019. Penumbra, and
dude, I bet you're pumped about this
Season of the Redacted. So their idea is that the whole thing is going to be mysterious. Now,
and there's like a little shot of the Leviathan too.
There's if you watch the vid doc, everything in the vid doc when they're talking about this is Leviathan-ish. I'm using that term loosely because you can tell it's definitely Cabal and it's stuff with the same design palette as Leviathan. So the assumption is it will be back on the Leviathan. Penumbra is a word that means shadow cast by an opaque object. Shadow. That's a key word. And
well, what was most interesting to me in the way he described it is like he kind of made it sound like, I don't know that he used this example exactly, but things like the Whisper of the Worm or like mysterious things like that, or things the player has to figure out. Christopher Barrett said like that's what this entire release is going to be about. Things we have to figure out. So it's going to be interesting. It's also, of course, you'll notice. I mean, it's worth noting. We said you get a new raid layer in Black Armory. You don't in Joker's Wild because I believe it looks like Gambit evolves. But then in Penumbrum, you get another new raid layer, right? So obviously it's going to play into that raid layer as well.
Yeah.
So exciting stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, let's just think about Destiny 1 for a second, dude. Or even, I guess, the first year of Destiny, maybe. I mean, we knew we were getting two expansions, but I mean, do you remember that long stint in Destiny 1 where it's like, we have no idea like what is coming next or when it is coming?
Yeah. There was a couple times. It was before Taken King and in between Taken King and Rise of Iron, where until the summer of both those years, we had no idea what their plans were. So I think things were really shaking up over there in those time frames. So they're certainly a lot more organized going into this year of Destiny, and that shows. And I think that they've come a long way.
Well, dude, and that reminds me,
players what they want, you know.
Yeah, and I think in this, I actually had to tweet it out like in quotes because Barrett and Scott on here and Steve kind of said a one-liner towards I think it was at the very end, but they all say kind of what we've been saying on the show is they, in talking to the fans and the players and in learning themselves and all the way up to this point, they did some things right in D1, they didn't. They did some things right in D2 and they didn't. Like they said multiple times in this vidoc, like, we feel like this is where the game should be. This is the best it's ever been. And it's because they've learned and they've learned from us. And it was just great to hear them kind of reiterate on that they also feel that way. Because it definitely, it seems like that as a player. It seems like, time will tell, but it seems like this game that we love so much is going to be at the best place it's ever been come today as you're listening to this.
Yeah.
Right?
I think it's safe to be optimistic.
Pretty optimistic. Yeah, there you go. In stereo.
Well, so that is the game plan beyond launch, as they called it. We've got a lot to look forward to. So it's going to be a fun year in Destiny. Stick around. Next up, they kind of had a very short notice of this event, but they had something called the Gambit Showdown in Trial. And so they had some celebrity guests along with some popular Destiny content creators, and had a 4v4 Gambit Showdown on Twitch. Were you able to check any of this out?
Yeah, actually I was able to watch most of it.
Awesome. What did you think?
Did you? Were you able to watch it?
I was not. I was pretty busy at work that day, so I didn't get to see any. What did you think?
I tell you what, dude, like I didn't really know what to expect because, well, one, I mean, we haven't gotten, at that time, it hadn't been out for everyone. And, you know, we've played it a little and we've seen it quite a bit covered, you know, the same thing over and over again. So I didn't really know what to expect. But I will say, even at the level this was, some kind of knew what they were doing, some didn't. It was very fun to watch, and it excites me to watch it on people's streams that I follow, because, you know, maybe necessarily this wasn't like top level gameplay. You know, this is like the first Gambit Showdown, and there's definitely some you know, knowledgeable guardians here, but it was exciting, dude. Like as soon as I started watching it, I just, it's fun to watch. It reminds me, again, I've said it on many episodes back. It's like a MOBA meets an FPS meets a tower defense meets PvP, and it's fun. Like, it's centered around like people invading. You know, all of it's important, but then when someone would invade, it's always like, okay, are they going to go after the person with the highest moats? How many of them are they going to kill? How many of them, like, can they pull off before they get pulled back out? Because I think you're in there. Is it 30 seconds? I can't remember. That seems kind of long.
Yeah, 30.
Is it 30? So just to wrap it all up, it was exciting to watch. Like, I didn't know what to expect as far as like a watching it experience. I knew it was fun to play, but I was pleasantly, I won't even say surprised. I was pleased with how much fun I had just watching it. And it made me want to watch it with creators that I watch regularly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
it excites me that it's fun to watch. That's what Trials was. I mean, I jumped into Trials every weekend because it was fun to play and it was exciting and it was competitive, but it was also fun to watch. And that's what I
Yeah.
really hope Gambit, an aspect that it has, right?
It's got a lot of action,
Mm-hmm.
and it keeps, the player in the game at a really steady, like, forward momentum, right?
Right.
Like, there's not a ton of downtime at all in that mode. Really just at the start of the round, you've probably got a minute where things are just kind of starting to take off, right?
Mm-hmm.
But after that, it's just constant action and there's stuff going on. And that's I think, playing it, something that I really noticed that kept it super fun. It didn't, it never felt monotonous, like even PvP can at times,
Mm-hmm. What has those elements that are important? Like one being when you invade, I mean that very simple thing of being able to see how many motes the enemy team has.
Yeah, that's brilliant,
huge.
man.
It's huge. And then the thing we've heard a million times at this point, that death heals primeval, like that little thing, the whole match can change in a matter of seconds.
Yeah.
Like you've got your
And
primeval half down.
It's an important strategy if you're neck and neck.
Yep.
Like, you have to go in there and slay, or it can cost you the round pretty quick.
There's little layers in it like that I think really add a lot to it. And obviously they knew what they were doing. They were developing and playtesting it. And
sure, yeah.
it's showing off like that there's some meat to this mode, right?
I agree. So you enjoyed overall the because it was sort of an exhibition, right? They're definitely trying to work to promote it. I always just kind of find it a little weird though when they get these celebrity and
celebrities
stars
versus,
it feels to me like these are things heavily influenced by Activision. I could be wrong.
Well, I'll tell you too, it ended up like centering around True Vanguard and Watts. Invading and killing each other, which was cool to see. Obviously it was, those other Guardians were great, but it was cool to see people we recognized as Guardians in the community.
For sure, yeah.
Really going up against each other.
And they had a fun rivalry going from Guardian Con.
Yep.
So
that's
cool. That's cool for sure. My comment was just that it's a little out of
PR fluff.
It's like a little out of touch feeling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it feels like they're trying to attract other audiences for some reason. And I don't know, maybe it works. I'm just one guy with that perspective. I'm totally looking at it as like
I see what you're saying.
Like an insider fan that would be like, who is this and why are they,
why are they playing?
Why don't you have like some awesome PvP guys up there or something, or why don't you have Slayer Ridge up there playing? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just me.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying.
But I'm glad that you enjoyed it. I may try to tonight later go and catch some of it and see how it went.
Do it. Let me know, yeah.
Yep. Next up, Bungie was at PAX West this weekend. A little lower key than their event last year. Last year they had like that 2-day thing going down in their own space.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense, of course, this year they're about to launch an expansion tomorrow, and
we talked about that a couple episodes ago.
Yeah, so
PAX all the way up to release.
Yeah, they did what they typically have done in the past, though, at PAX and at other conventions this year. They had their booth. They did some signing tables, which is pretty cool. I wish I'd have been there for that. And they had the Bungie store with some temporarily exclusive loot. I'm kind of upset that they didn't do something for Labor Day and put up these new shirts and lanyard for sale because I want them. But I'm sure they'll go up on the store this week. But they have, did you see these shirts? They have the Valis to Arc copy pasta on the shirt. I've got to have that one.
Yeah, they know how to get you to buy some new Destiny shirts.
It's a problem. And then they had Gambit playable on the floor as well. So that's pretty cool. I know some people got to go in and play. I'm sure it was popular.
Yes. It's just cool. We'll talk about that here in just a second, but it's cool how many Guardians have gotten to play it now at this point.
Yeah.
And, to see the feedback just kind of roll in, even as a player. Can't imagine as the actual team who worked on it and developed it, right?
Right.
It'd be a little nerve-wracking. But at this point, the feedback's been so great.
I really enjoyed seeing the devs at GuardianCon enjoy watching people play it and seeing them pleased. Like, I liked them getting like really positive feedback and enjoying that, you know. I'm sure it's satisfying to work on something behind the scenes and then get to see it in person, like played, right?
Yeah, and they've been super, I mean, the conversation's been crazy open on Twitter too. I mean, like as soon as it ended, Lars tweeted out like, okay, what was your favorite thing and what was the thing you'd like to see improved, right? It's just cool to see that kind of interaction with it. So,
no doubt. Now we have a word from the Bungie security response team.
Banhammer.
Yep. Through season 1, they say they've been working on improvements to systems that identify players who may be tampering with their connection to Crucible matches or breaking the TOS for Destiny 2. So they've used that data with the PvP team and updated their detection and analysis tools. And they rechecked the previous 4 months of matches from the comp playlist. On effective September 4th, they're going to apply more restrictions and bans to player accounts that benefited from opponent disconnects at a highly abnormal frequency throughout Season 3. So, that includes voluntary disconnects where players are repeatedly matching against the same opponents. I think that's calling to people that were like, they were farming, like farming wins, trading with each other.
With the Claymore, yeah.
So they're going to, depending on the severity of infractions, players who receive these restrictions and bans will remove access to Pinnacle Crucible rewards, such as Redrix's Claymore, Broadsword, Luna's Howl, and any Pinnacle Crucible rewards released in the future. For the most severe infractions, players may permanently lose access to all Destiny 2 activities. So the banhammer is going to swing.
Yeah.
I know some people are going to be pretty happy about that because there's been a lot of DDoS attacks and weird stuff going on this past season. So
I feel like this is like their task force that is always going in the background, and then they come to visit in the TWAB every now and then, and you're like, ooh, what's coming now?
Well, right. You know, I know, and this is just subjective based on people I talk to and posts I've seen, but a lot of people feel that they are too lax on cheating
overall.
And I'm hoping that whatever their improved detection methods are will improve that, because I know there's people who have reputations for being cheaters on a regular basis that have been around for a while with nothing happening.
Yeah, I mean, especially at the level we're at now, and we've got, things in competitive Crucible that you're working towards, and things like trials back in the day. Like it's nice when there's a little of this is possible going on. Of course.
Yeah, I mean, there's no worse feeling than getting booted from a game that you're competing in and have a chance to win competitively. Like, it's just the worst.
That's pretty much sums it up.
Now, they had some updates in the Destiny player support section on kind of how things are going to roll out tomorrow. We know that we're getting a quick hotfix, Destiny 2 hotfix 2.0.0.1. That's going to happen with some maintenance at 7 a.m. Pacific. It'll go back live at 10 a.m. That's the planned launch time, 10 a.m. Pacific. Maintenance should conclude and Forsaken will become available to play on all platforms. There will be some
There you
patch
have it.
notes, so keep an eye on the updates page. How well do you think the old launch is going to go tomorrow? You think we'll see queues tomorrow?
I hope not. I mean,
I
it's
wouldn't be
something
surprised, man.
I know it seemed to happen on so many titles, you know, even up to present day. But I don't know. Even if we do, hopefully it won't be too bad. I always remember back to like the Gears of War days and some other things where like we literally couldn't even get online.
Yeah,
Yeah, hopefully we don't ever revisit those days.
It's been a while since launches have been that bad.
Yeah.
For the most part, a lot of publishers and developers have kind of caught up with how to avoid those problems. And then there's cloud services and different stuff that companies can take advantage of for things like this, you know?
Yeah.
So let's hope it goes smooth tomorrow and everything opens on time and they pull the trigger and I can just jump on and play.
Yes.
I'm excited.
I hope so as well.
Now they do have some known issues for 2.0.0. One notable thing is the XP bar was not working properly this week. Now that was just a UI problem because XP was actually being earned properly. They're hoping that will be resolved at the reset. Couple other things, a problem with explosive rounds, some problems with hand cannon recoil on PC and ADS.
Yeah, that was all the...
Yeah.
I watched several videos on that.
Then they actually had some Forsaken weapons and armor dropping from the Mars flashpoint this week.
Did you get you some?
I didn't. I didn't finish the flashpoint. I didn't really spend any time over there. Did you? Did you get anything cool?
Yeah, I got the SMG.
Oh yeah, that looked nice.
Yeah, and of course it's got, you know, different rolls on it and stuff. But I was goofing around in Crucible last week, so I just went and did that flashpoint real quick and got that. But I had to very quickly switch back something that I was more used to, so that I could try to actually perform well in the Crucible. But it was cool to have that little, like, accident or not, like all it did was just build more hype, having some Forsaken stuff drop. From
you remember was it the Taken King when we ended up with Trespasser a week early? Do you remember that?
Was it?
Or was it
I kind of
Rise of Iron?
I can't remember for sure, but I do remember that. I do remember that happening.
Like people just had it pop up in like a Crucible match, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Whoa!"
Yeah. It's like, it's okay. It just
it's fine. These things just
more
kind of
hype.
seep out, you know.
Yep. The accidental.
At least it was
event.
just basic, like legendary, just general legendary gear.
Yeah.
There was some.
It's
cool,
part of the fun too.
It was interesting. A lot of the legendary items had lore attached to them, and not just flavor text, like full lore. And it's making me wonder how much legendary stuff could have lore attached. Man, it's
a lot.
That's got my nerd senses vibrating.
I know. I just keep thinking about all this new stuff we're gonna get, and like as I watch stuff, I keep remembering more. And it's like, oh yeah, collections, and then oh yeah, the
so much,
all the tabs, all the new tabs we're gonna get. Yeah. How much time are we gonna just spend like collecting our thoughts before we actually jump into the campaign?
I know. And there's the bounties and just
all the bounties.
So much. They mentioned some things to keep in mind with gear infusion and level requirements. As usual, when you're going through an expansion, certain power levels require a certain level to equip gear. So you'll want to be careful when you're infusing stuff to make sure that you can actually wear it when you do that, depending on the power level.
For some reason, I didn't even really remember that one. Like infusing it into a piece of gear that is a higher level requirement. I guess maybe I've just never accidentally done that.
Usually you wouldn't
to hit that level,
but it can happen.
Oh yeah. They got to throw it out there.
And I almost always, when going through one of these expansions, you'll get stuff to drop, and it's a level or two ahead of what you actually are. So you're like, oh man, I can't equip this. Come on, you know?
Yep.
But I think it's going to be more pertinent because there's going to be a lot bigger power climb and level climb through this expansion, and they've kind of reiterated that, that it's going to be a real climb. So this may be more pertinent than ever before.
Yeah.
Definitely sounds like a grind. They talk a little bit about mods, which I think we really covered that as far as we can cover that at this point.
Yeah.
Last, if you want to redeem your t-shirt for Solstice of Heroes, you can generate that until September 12th if you have not generated the code. And you can redeem the code on the Bungie store until September 30th. I think we actually don't we have one of these to give out?
Yes.
Maybe we'll give that away.
Yes, we need to.
Somebody donated a t-shirt code. I think we might have something else that you might want to look for on Twitter.
Yes.
If you know what I'm talking about, Air Knight. We got a couple of spicy things to give away. The giveaways just don't stop.
No, they don't.
Look on Twitter this week if you want to get a free chance at some stuff, like maybe an emblem.
Yes. Destiny Reset.
Yeah, on Twitter. And then we had our movies of the week. Did you check out the What's This Destiny parody?
I did not, man. Actually, this week I did not watch those. I usually do.
This one was kind of funny. Smash up between the What's This song from now I can't think of the Tim Burton.
I can't help you on this, man.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
There it is. Yeah.
Fully written and sang with some awoken or forsaken footage and stuff spliced in to make a whole video. It was really clever. I loved it.
I'm going to have to watch it. All
right. That was This Week at Bungie. We also got a couple other pieces of news beyond the, of course, we had the year ahead, and they also had some posts on the blog with, I guess, if you want to call these like lore posts, essentially telling a little story about where Kate is this week.
Mm-hmm.
Just 3 little blurbs. Cool to check out. You might want to go read that before you play and kind of get an insight into what Cade's up to up until reset. So I like these a lot. They did this for Warmind, and I enjoyed those posts. Just little setups for the story, right? Kind of expanding the world.
Those little things. Yeah, those little things like that go a long way. Plus, this was when we were getting everything else. Deej wasn't joking. He tweeted out something that morning about like be ready.
Yeah, he was ready for
something.
And
it was, dude.
Yeah,
like it was constant.
Definitely. Forgot this was on that same day too.
Yeah.
Now on top of all this, we had the 2.0 update, and a lot of the patch. I mean, the patch notes are pretty big. We've talked about a lot of this stuff leading up to the release.
Now, yeah.
Because they gave us a lot of pieces of the patch notes. We're not going to go through these in depth, but I was just curious if you had any takeaways since that's dropped. Do you have any feedback on the new weapon system or any certain abilities that you enjoy?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's still a bit jarring to me. I jumped in Crucible quite a bit after this dropped, and you know, I'm enjoying the new weapon system, the slot system. Like it's taking some getting used to, just like we had talked about. Like it might feel like it's a bit jarring, but like I very quickly, well, even playing solo, like I could tell a difference in the Crucible as far as what I could do, what I was capable of for my team as an individual player, as a solo player. Like I immediately felt like I had the potential to pull out some more plays, right? It literally took like 2 or 3 games, and I immediately felt more confident in 1v2s and 1v3s and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I was running into, and I'm strictly talking from a PvP standpoint. I was running into like, I couldn't figure out what exotic I wanted to run, and I couldn't figure out what energy weapon I wanted to run.
Yeah.
I really wanted to run a hand cannon. So, and then a lot of the snipers are in the kinetic slot now.
Right.
So I was just in this weird
Yeah.
area, and I still kind of am. Like, I don't know what my loadout is. I did feel like, I mean, I think probably many Guardians are feeling this. I mean, it definitely felt like there were shotguns everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I felt like I needed to have a shotgun, so that was like restricting my loadout a little bit as well. But I don't know. That's like my initial thoughts with it. As far as the whole patch, dude, I was so happy with like how much of a Forsaken update tease we got, like all the way from the director being updated to the Nightfalls are already in place to the like all that stuff
title
was,
card
like, super cool.
and the music.
Yeah, dude. Well, yeah, dude. It was. I forgot about that because I asked for that. I'm
Yeah.
like, please just give us a new title screen and the new score. Like, please. That was probably that was.
Which I
awesome.
almost forgot to point this out to you. The Forsaken score is up on iTunes.
Oh, is it? There?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
I know you
no
always
way.
get
Okay,
that. Now
purchase tonight.
Usually I'll get the Bungie.net version, which you get a lossless and a like typical MP3 when you buy those.
Yeah.
And usually you get an emblem too, so I'm probably gonna hold off on that. But if you really
that's
need
true. Yeah, I may
get in there. Yeah. If you need something,
I like getting that emblem.
Keep you at bay tomorrow.
I know, right? For you listeners, we were talking before the show. I'm taking off the day after release.
Yeah.
So like I'm gonna have a little window of like I'm basically gonna disconnect from everything.
Yeah, till tomorrow night, right? When you get to play.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
But in the also in the music, we were talking on Twitter today. We noticed people have found in orbit some of the original the Taken King soundtrack is in there, which really fascinates me because it almost confirms my suspicion of how much they're going to tie back to the events of the Taken King. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, very cool stuff. So much. So what about you though with the overall? Like,
so
2.0?
I have not played any Crucible, and I totally did this on purpose because I spent a good amount of time this week like getting ahead on some work stuff and different things, so I didn't play any games for a few nights. I totally planned to not play a lot of Destiny this week to kind of just take a little time off, cleanse my palate, do some other things, before I go super hard for the next like month, right? So I didn't want to play Crucible though, because I kind of just want to go into the expansion just without any, not preconceptions, but like I wanted everything to feel just kind of new stepping in, and I'll have a lot of time in the PvE stuff to play the new systems and the new supers. And so I kind of was just feeling like I should, I don't have to experience all this right now. But then I did really want to play Gambit, so I jumped on Gambit.
Yeah.
So my experience is mostly more focused on the PvE end of things. And I find, so I had the same kind of hold up as you because I don't know what I want to run.
Yeah.
There's a lot of weapons in weird slots, like, snipers in primary, and then primary weapons. Like you can run specials in your kinetic slot, and you can run primaries in your old energy slot. And so what's happening is like, I have a hard time keeping up with what weapons are where. Right. So I'm swapping to what in muscle memory is my primary, and sometimes it's a special like a shotgun. I might have been running, whatever kinetic, like special shotgun in my kinetic slot, and so I'm having to change out like between my guns a lot when I need it to be out, and the thing is, I don't know realistically if people will get used to that because you're used to your weapon changes being based on a very firm type, and it's kind of just glued to muscle memory in your brain. And with a lot of rules broken about where things go, it's going to be a lot more I guess it'll become second nature after a while, but it's going to be a lot more processing having to go on.
Yeah.
And a lot more like accidentally swapping to a button and then hitting Y and like cycling through everything, you know?
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know. We're just going to have to see how that plays out. But I found that a little
it definitely
off-putting.
feels more
just a little
jarring.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Than anything previously.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. But I just experimented with a bunch of different loadouts. I think the one that I enjoyed the most in the end was I think it was Autumn Wind and Telesto and Tarantula was what I had the most fun with, because Telesto actually felt like really powerful, even as a special, and you had a lot of ammo for it. And then linear fusions are redonkulous right now. Like, they're a power weapon. I mean, they've gotten buffs, and I don't even know if they necessarily buffed them significantly, but they were really effective in that mode. Mm-hmm. Even the big talk all weekend has been about Sleeper Simulant, because it will body shot an invader and kill him. And people were like, oh, this is too strong. And then it's also very effective against the PvE enemies. And so it's just a great like utility gun. Like it's very powerful and very useful in multiple situations. And people are already like, nerf. But no, it's just a really good exotic. Like, and it works really well for that particular mode. You know, there's not always an exotic that's great for everything. It's not necessarily as good in a normal comp Crucible match, so it doesn't get used a lot. But linear fusions in this Gambit mode are really good, man. So that was my favorite combo. And then I ran, running a shotgun is really fun in that mode too, as for invading and for the PvE enemies. So I had fun trying it out and trying to figure it out, at least for that mode. I really don't know how and what I'm going to use through all this content. Like,
I know. Yeah. It's just going to be up in the air for so long.
Yeah. There's going to be so much to experiment and play with. And there's going to be so many interesting combinations and specializations that you can take advantage of. I think I think it can really give the game a lot of flexibility, and I think it's going to give people that experimentation that they really used to like, when you could tune a lot of your subclasses and do builds. Yeah. It's just going to be more focused on your gun game than ever before, right?
Yeah, and dude, there's a lot there.
Certain subclasses and attunements to support those builds.
And you just reminded me too, Zur was here this weekend and he had some new rolls on some exotics.
Oh yeah, exotics have random nice perk rolls now.
Yeah, dude.
That was those bonus perks.
I went and picked up a Knucklehead Radar for my hunter because it had like unflinching for bows and some hand cannon perks and shotgun reserves perk. I'm like, okay, dang. I'm just gonna go.
I didn't even go buy anything. I should have bought that.
Just in case.
And this is just on top of the typical exotic perks, right?
Right.
These are like extra perk trees that are on them now. And that was just on armor.
Yes.
There weren't any changes to guns, I don't believe.
No.
Okay. No.
Yeah, just on the armor.
That adds like a lot to the game.
So much depth.
For all those exotic duplicates, because they're always so useless. Mm-hmm. But now you can depth, dude. You can get some, potential for some really cool combinations of perks that you may like on an exotic and make one that like is just right for you, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, man. Awesome. And it was cool to see that. That was just another thing. It was like a little tease.
Yeah.
And yeah, Gambit for me, dude. I did jump in. Like I immediately had to just kind of test the Crucible, and it did really feel good. Like it's still real early on, but yeah, in Gambit for sure. I was planning to play a bit Saturday. I didn't end up playing that much. I actually played one full game solo, but we did win 2-0. And I, of course, was like trying to get the timing down on the portal to invade. And I got like, 2 to 3 guardians each time I invaded it. And I'm like, okay, dude, I'm ready to play. Like, I don't know what I'm going to play. I don't know what, like, I've got to play the campaign, and then I'm going to want to jump into Gambit, but wait, like, do I want to jump into Crucible? Anyways, Gambit was fun. It was cool to have that event, like, just before launch, right? Like, it's just like, their timing
really
on everything has been so great. Yeah.
Did you notice how on the tooltip, like, when you are looking in your Guardian menu, the perks just display the name of the perks now? They don't have
I did
the description
see that,
now. Yeah. So if it's,
I guess I didn't fully acknowledge. Yeah, they didn't have the description.
Resilience perk or whatever, it just says a name of the perk instead of a full description now.
Full description. Okay.
I kind of like the old way better though, because I don't know the names of all these perks.
Yeah, no, you have to go in and see it. Like, I noticed that's all they said now, but it just didn't fully click to me that, like, the difference. But yeah,
I have to imagine now it's because those pieces of gear will display multiple perks now, as opposed to just one. You would have a mod slot that would have one perk in Destiny 1 or Destiny 2 vanilla, but now your armor will be dropping with random rolls with multiple perks, so it will need to list those.
Right.
I guess if you gotta just compromise. Another thing you may be interested in, they adjusted the contrast and saturation for the entire game to match the Forsaken theme.
Okay.
That was something that they did a little bit in Destiny 1, kind of under the radar. They definitely did it when the Dark Below happened. And I think they made some changes as well when the Taken King dropped to, like, color tone and saturation and contrast, just like we're talking about here, that eventually people, like, figured out because they would compare, like, they would notice footage side by side of different eras. But this is interesting how that changed, and you may not even notice it if people don't, like, if you didn't have it pointed out, but I like those little details, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
There's just so much thought.
You just reminded me of something too, like on the title screen. I feel like somebody had asked for this or something at some point, but how when it goes to the Forsaken title, it kind of like transitions into it from the original.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So anyways, just a random thing you just made me think of, but all the little touches, dude. I mean, when you add them all up, just individually, they add a lot. But when you add it all up,
yeah, it's the sum of its parts. Well, it was cool that they did, drop this patch early, and people got to spend some time, with these changes to exotics and weapon systems and how the game changes. And it also gives them an opportunity if there's anything big, problems that they have to sort out. It gives them a little bit more time to work on that stuff and resolve it quickly.
To work on it. Yep.
And it doesn't hurt that the game is preloaded.
Right.
Were you able to get your software license from GameStop?
I remember I went Digital Deluxe.
Did you do it like through the store?
Yeah, I did through the PS Store.
So I didn't end up canceling mine. This is something Aaron and I had talked about because we're always like, how do we do this right? We're nerds.
I think we told them, yeah.
We were talking about it.
What we were going to do.
Yeah, because they didn't give us like a code ahead of time. And the problem was, okay, how do we get this so it's there when it launches? And I had been talking back and forth with my GameStop because they didn't know when they were going to release the stuff. And it was turning out that they thought they couldn't give me anything until Tuesday. And then apparently it was just going to be an Xbox currency code. So I went by there finally today, and I was going to be like, look, if you can't give me this right now, cancel this, and I'm going to go.
They're like, wait.
Yeah. But sure enough, apparently they released, like, the street date was Sunday or something, apparently. So they were able to print out a code, and it was just a dang Xbox currency code. Why do they do that? What is the point?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
It doesn't make any sense. Like I went through all that hell to give GameStop my business, and then they just make me.
They give you code.
They give me a code to buy Xbox currency to then buy it myself.
Yeah.
It's really dumb. And apparently it has to do with the publisher. Like Activision not setting that up for just Xbox users. This isn't like for everything. Apparently this is for Xbox. PlayStation,
Oh, really?
I think they're getting a product code.
Huh.
So I don't understand why that's a big deal. Like that is that way.
Right.
It
yeah.
seems
That's
really
weird.
dumb.
Yeah. Seems a bit complicated.
Anyways,
Yeah.
I got that, put it in, bought the thing, put it on my box.
Yeah, I was like, okay, if there's any, I've been through this. Usually I'll drive to the store and do whatever, but I'm like, all right. I mean, and again, now, I'm not taking off till the day after, but I'm like, nah, going digital deluxe. I'm not even messing with it this time.
Yeah.
But it worked out though for you, sounds like.
Yeah. One last piece of news because we're kind of bleeding into our reset here. They did announce the PS4 exclusives.
Yes, they did.
Gross.
I know it. It still is gross. It's just it's gonna be a thing, I guess. Always for some reason.
Yep. And very disappointingly is the Void exotic trace rifle we've been waiting on will be
it is so
PlayStation
strange.
exclusive.
And that's the thing about them too, is they're not normally just like one-off things. They're legit cool weapons in the game. Yeah.
And then
It's weird having PC involved now because it's not just Xbox. It's not going to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
PC as well, right?
Yep. Anyways.
They're also going to have a strike called Broodhold. And then there's going to be a set of armor for each of the classes that look okay, I guess.
Yeah, the armor sets usually do look just okay.
I remember one set was really cool that they had. I think maybe the Taken King armor set PlayStation was really cool for the Warlock at least.
Yeah.
And then they have a ship which is literally a reskin of a launch ship. That's pretty disappointing.
Good old reskins.
Sorry.
And that's the ugly one too.
Yeah.
To me. Oh,
yeah.
It's just not.
It's kind of
not
funky,
appealing.
but I don't know. I have one cool version of this that it's an exotic, and it has these basically like glowy light up flowers on it. So they like glow in different colors depending on the shader. I'll have to show it to you. It's like a launch ship from D2, an exotic one.
You're telling us you have a version of the ship that has glowing flowers on it and you love it.
Yes.
Okay,
Correct.
just making sure.
So that's the PS4 exclusive stuff. Enjoy if you're one of many PlayStation Destiny players. I know that's the majority. So disappointed in you, PlayStation.
Sorry,
Activision.
guys. It's not us. It's
When
not
does
us.
this
They
end?
just-
One thing they
Oh,
haven't, I
goodness.
was expecting to see, but they haven't given official word on. I'm pretty sure the Destiny 2 Year 1 exclusive stuff should arrive to Xbox.
Yes, I believe so.
It may be at launch of Forsaken. It could be a later update, but I know it's happening in the immediate future.
It's that time.
I want to get my hand on that Borealis.
Yeah, it's so long too that I forget what you guys didn't get.
Yeah.
I know. It's just weird. It's such a long
And then
time.
at least one strike.
Yeah.
Pretty sure. So that to look forward to. And on PC. Don't forget PC. We'll get it as well. All right. I think that's all the news, man.
Maybe. We're going to have so much to talk about next week that actually maybe won't be in the news section. It'll be in the experience to the game section.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right. Well, we've kind of touched on it, so we might as well. Anyways, Cyborg, how was your reset, buddy?
Well, let me tell you one thing I did this reset. I went and got an Xbox One X.
Ooh, hype. Nice, dude.
I took advantage of their new All Access program,
Okay.
which basically allows you to buy an Xbox One X or One S in installments. Then they package it up with 2 years of Xbox Live and 2 years of Games Pass. And you actually pay a little bit less than retail for all these things. It's a decent deal.
Yeah.
And I was kind of putting money aside to do that later this year. But they had that come up. So I said, well, why not just go ahead and get it now before Forsaken and enjoy those tasty extra frames.
That's cool, though.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I was excited about that. I still have to get a 4K monitor and stuff. But I can tell the graphical fidelity is a little better, even still in 1080p. And there's definitely sections of the game where I usually see some choppiness and frame drop that has been improved. So I'm happy about that just by itself.
That's cool, dude. Yeah. Enjoy that new tech.
I will. I do. It's super fast, man. The menus. The menus load so fast.
Yeah, you don't even think about
man.
little things like that. Yeah.
And I was really getting worried about my Xbox because it was a launch Xbox. So it has got
Still got my day one
hours on it, bro.
Mine definitely does not have as many hours as yours, but it's a day one.
Probably got 4,000 hours on it. If I had to guess.
Mine doesn't get turned on a ton.
Yeah. Kind of like my PlayStation. Probably has less than 100 hours on it.
Yep.
But I talked about most of my playtime. Besides that, I spent about one night, jumped on a little bit of No Man's Sky, playing that out a little bit. Yeah, it's fun, man. So I'm still going through like basic parts of the game still too, and I think I'm like 30 plus hours in.
Nice.
So
yeah, I restarted like I mentioned before, I think, and I really want to play that game, dude. But I don't know. That like Destiny turning back into the hobbyist game. I mean, it's always good to take a little breather and go play something else, but I do always enjoy me some Destiny, and not being able to fit in No Man's Sky like pre-patch, pre-Forsaken, like I don't know when I'm gonna fit it in. Dude.
I found it was like a really good game to jump on for some kind of solo veg out time.
Yeah, maybe before you go to bed.
That's how I played it. Yeah, before I go to bed, or like after I finished really intense activities on Destiny. You know, might go jump on that for 30 minutes or something to kind of chill
after a raid or something. Yeah.
So that's a good game for that.
Well,
because you never really reach logical stopping points for anything,
right?
So you don't feel bad getting off. Like you're not like, oh, let me finish this one more thing. Like you're always doing another thing, so you can just stop whenever you want.
That works.
Yeah,
if you can stop.
That's the key.
Yeah.
So how was your reset?
It was good, dude. I like I said, I immediately, as soon as that patch dropped, I jumped in the Crucible, started testing stuff out. Like I'm really pumped where the Crucible is gonna go. I'm excited to see where it's gonna go. I'm hopeful that it's gonna really bring back those hero capable moments. Like I said earlier in the show, like I did immediately feel more powerful and more confident having that stuff in my different slots. Like it, shotguns were around everywhere, but I also had one too.
Yeah, and you could defend yourself a little more.
Dude, yeah, it was so nice to like pop a primary, or I guess kinetic, like a hand cannon kill or a pulse rifle, and then checking that radar out, man, like know someone's coming up on me and just whipping out that shotgun. I tell you what else is cool is it really rewards like dropping with two. A sniper, is obviously a bit more challenging. Dropping with two shotties, like more than likely you're probably going to be able to do something with that. But what's nice is you can't just waste those shots. And it's very rewarding to the player if you if you execute, because you of course get more ammo
Yeah.
as you kill other guardians. So like you can get some crazy plays going. And like I said, I jumped in comp solo for a little bit before we jumped with a fire team. And I mean, I felt pretty decent running solo. Like I felt like I could contribute more than just, what many would say like the team shot mechanic. I was able to just kind of maybe pull off more than before. I'm not saying, like it just immediately made me better. It just was, it reminded me of what I was used to back in the Trials heydays, right? Like having a sniper and a shotgun in my secondary and stuff.
That makes me think a little bit about snipers too, because since we don't have special boxes that we can pull in the map environment, I think it could do a lot with the sniper playstyle to keep things moving in the Crucible, because a big problem with sniping being dominant in Destiny 1 was how much it would slow down a match and encourage camping and slow play.
Yeah.
And with a sniper in this setup, you'll have a certain number of shots, but in order to continue using that, you're going to have to go to someone you killed and get more special, which is going to encourage rotation and keep the game moving.
Yeah.
So that could solve a big problem that I think it wasn't a major problem. It wasn't the most important problem in the Crucible then, but it was a thing that could get boring, right?
Right.
Or take away some. There was a bit of an excitement to it, right? A good sniper battle can be exciting, but that's not what you want to do every single match.
Every single game. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I mean, anybody who's watched me stream back in the day and stuff, I mean, snipers are like my go-to. And then No Land was just an interesting meta, because No Land basically allowed me to get out a shotgun. Otherwise, I didn't run a shotgun very often.
Yeah.
So now I find myself like wanting a shotgun. So this weapon slot system is interesting, because you can do sniper, shoddy. Of course, you only have one of each.
Yeah.
Until you kill somebody. But I did find myself running shoddy hand cannon shoddy or sniper shoddy and whatever in my heavy slot. I was I mentioned it before, I was having that, like, I just didn't know what to run. But I mean, sniping felt pretty crispy too, man. I finally got that blue sniper to drop, that Aachen or 8 whatever it is. And dude, that thing feels like her benevolence from way back in the day. So I mean, getting those crispy snipes, the only problem is, like you said, is they're long range, so that special brick, which it's amazing you don't have to hold square. Gotta mention that. It's so nice that you can just run over the top of it, right?
Yeah, it's not like
so
heavy.
That's huge. Yeah. Yeah. But anyways, still, there's still a lot of playing that needs to be done.
One thing I did do that was kind of funny was equip 3 snipers.
Did you try it? I did not.
Just to see, like, all right, how bad is this going to be? And it was pretty bad.
They make it to where it's
ideal for me.
Yeah, they make it to where it's kind of difficult.
It made me want to use one of them as a club.
There you go. Yeah, to be able to do that. Yeah, I need to do some experimenting. I'm ready for Forsaken to drop, because I'm going to spend some time in PvE, and I want to, kind of mess around with loadouts there, because my mind just instantly goes to the Crucible. So I want to spend some time in PvE too.
I did spend some more. I've almost every week been combing through my vault, like slowly kind of getting rid of more and more stuff. Yeah. And I did that even more this weekend. Deleted some more guns.
I've still got some work to do myself.
A little bit of armor. Deleted a whole ton of cosmetic stuff, that just stuff I'd held on to, but like they weren't my absolute favorites. So I just really just kept my absolute favorite, like sparrows, ships, ghosts, a lot of exotic stuff, and just dismantled the rest, because I'm thinking, I'm going to be getting a whole bunch of new stuff just like this. So just make room.
System. Yeah.
So yeah, just kind of preparing, just getting ready. I'm ready, man. I got just three or 4 guns in each slot that I want to use, ready to go. Got some of my favorite armor set up on my Titan, ready to go. I'm gonna run him through first. And
I kind of went through tonight and like I still got some work to do in my vault and stuff, but I went and picked me up some medallions. I did that whole thing. Get ready to pop some of those consumables to level up.
Hey, how many?
I'm not like looking to speed run or anything, but
Yeah.
I want to maximize my time.
How many of the glows did you end up getting for Solstice? Did you end up getting
I
many of
forgot,
them?
dude. I have to mention that. I finally dropped some money on old Eververse.
Okay.
I did, dude. I'm like, I want these glows. Like, I just, you know what? I haven't spent a lot of money. I've gotten a lot of playtime out of this game. I've gotten a lot of Eververse stuff from just playing the game.
Yeah.
I decided that night, I'm like, I'm spending some money. And I did. I spent it until I got all of them. So I wanted all those glows, dude, because if you look at the armor, you can't infuse it right now, but they tweeted out that once the Forsaken launches, you can infuse your Solstice armor, which is huge because it's going to be unique, I think, right?
Yeah, for sure.
If you have all those glows and stuff, like it's going to be cool to throw that on, kind of like a fashion aspect.
For sure.
If nothing else. Yeah, dude, like you said a week or two ago, it's like it was a solid live event. We've had some solid content. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna drop some money. I felt okay dropping it.
Hey, and that's pretty rare for you, man. So
I
ended
dude.
up, I checked last week after playing all month, and I spent $20 on engram packages in silver of the Solstice engrams, and I got every single item out of the Solstice stuff.
Oh, nice. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I know I ended up getting way more than I planned on trying to get because I got like
such
that blue sparrow.
Big difference with the knockout system, man.
Oh,
it
big time.
Really, really does. I felt like I was getting, I was getting something new every time I opened one, and I didn't feel bad getting, you just hate getting duplicates of stuff. It sucks.
Oh, yes. Especially spending real money.
Yeah.
It's like, ugh.
Yeah, and then feeling
nice.
good about actually spending money because it's going to like progress through that knockout and get you a whole bunch more stuff, and it worked. Like I spent a little extra money, I got every item, a lot of cool stuff, and played a lot and just collected everything, and I felt pretty satisfied with spending $20. Like I felt okay with it.
Well, that was what I was gonna say. I don't know that I would have spent I don't know how much I would have spent if I wouldn't have known that at some point I was going to get the rest of the glows, right?
Right. Yeah. I don't know if I would have either.
RNG, yeah.
So hopefully the data supports that being a common spending habit, and like honestly hoping like more people spent money on that event because of the way they implemented it, and maybe they will take that into account of future events, because I really like that things were that way.
Yep. Dude, I forget. I feel like we haven't recorded in forever. We just had a show last week. This was the end of Solstice, dude. The last night, like I finished up my stuff. I ran strikes. I leveled from 6 to 50 in like 2 or 3 weeks, dude.
Wow.
I ran strikes until like 4:30 in the
level
morning,
50
dude.
ship.
Dude, I wanted Zavala ship, and I needed strikes and some of the raid stuff to get my 400. And I'm like, I did not think I had like 12 or 13 more levels to go on my strikes, and I started it at like 1 in the morning. And I'm like,
man.
no way, dude. Like,
But they
surely
go pretty fast.
They do, man. But like, I don't know. We were talking about being tired this past week. I don't know if it's because I was tired. I even did some, because, playing at 1 in the morning, there's a lot. I mean, not a ton of the Dirt Fam on.
Yeah.
Or just people in general. So, dude, I actually went old school back when I used to raid 3 times a week before the Dirt Fam. Like, I went out on Bungie.net and, like, used their fire team system. Dude, and I jumped in with some cool random Guardians that are on my friends list now. Like, we didn't even chat. Like, we just jumped in a fire team together. We're like, message, you got boons? Yep, got boons. We both pop boons, so we double up, dude. And I ran strikes. I got like an hour and a half's sleep on that last reset, dude.
So
but I'm like, I'm not going to the
finish?
end.
Like, what did you complete? Like, as far as the event and.
Well, you mean
did you
as
get
far
the
as like
full triumph score? Were you able to get?
Yeah, I got 400, dude.
Awesome, dude.
Yeah, dude. Like, I'm talking. I could not. I even like contemplated when strikes was the last thing I had to do, and I'm like, okay, maybe I'll just go to sleep and I'll like get up early. I'm like, I
Yeah.
cannot go to sleep.
You were
Like, because
determined.
it was reset the next day. So like,
The
if
bug
I would have
bit
went
you,
to
man.
work, yeah, dude. I'm like, I gotta finish this. But anyways, I did it, dude. I'm super pumped. I got to give a shout
Proud
out
of
to
you.
the community too, because some people jumped in to help me raid. I actually reached out to Lulu, and dude, it was all good, man. You got 400, right? You got the ship and everything, didn't you?
Oh man, I did
Yeah.
everything. I did all the
Yeah,
things.
I got everything, but of course that 3-character ship. But I'm
Yeah.
pumped, man, because like old school moments of triumph and stuff. Like
Mhm.
I just wanted to get that 400.
It's real satisfying, man. I don't know what it is about it because
Mm-hmm.
in reality, it happens, and then once it's done, it's just kind of in the past. But
Right. Yeah.
it just feels good to have that completion, you know.
Year 1
Yep.
Guardian.
Mhm. And oh, you know
Destiny 2
what? I
year 1.
actually got my Triumph shirt this weekend.
Oh, cool. Nice.
Yeah, it came in, and I didn't even know because I either missed or I didn't get a tracking on it, and so I just like pulled it out of the mailbox. I'm like, oh, the shirt, and it's really
hey, it's
really
there.
nice shirt. I really like it a lot.
Yeah, I'm still trying to decide if I haven't ordered those. I don't know that I've ever ordered a Triumph shirt.
I
think-
would say
I thought maybe I did the first one.
Now
but
having this one, I think I like this one more than any of the past ones.
you would say that. Now I'm gonna think
You
about
should
it
get
even more.
You should get it. I think you would like the shirt.
Cool.
I think you would like
might
it
have to
because
get
we were talking about shirts a few weeks ago. The type of shirt it is a better quality and better fitting shirts because the Triumph shirts they've had the past 3 years were like really baggy, and I never wear
Okay.
them because they don't fit me right.
Oh, man,
But
I
this
might have
one
Might have to get
is
it.
the better shirt, and it's just a nice looking shirt. It is a little sparkly. That gold is gold.
I have seen it. Yeah, I've
It is
seen
gold, but it's nice. I'm a Destiny t-shirt like fanatic, so
You like those shirts?
I think this one I like a lot. So I just decided that's what I'm gonna wear tomorrow. I was gonna wear my Forsaken shirt, but I think I'm gonna wear that one now.
Are you streaming?
I decided no.
No. I like to just kind of take in the story at least, dude. I don't
Yeah.
even jump in a fire team. Like with the story, I like to just play solo through the story.
I streamed launch for the first time for Destiny 2, and while that was fun in some regards because some of the Dirt fam came and hung out, that knew they wouldn't be able to see it right away, and we got to, I got to have them hang out while I was experiencing stuff for the first time. It also the long and short of it is there's going to be so many people watching their favorite streamers, they're big streamers, and
Yeah.
I'm not a regular streamer. And so I want those people to watch their favorites. Not that they would feel compelled to go away from that because I'm one, but regardless, and that's what a lot of people are going to be doing. So it's not like I'm just shooting for numbers when I'm streaming, but those people are used to streaming on launch day. You're going to have a great experience watching those people stream. I'm just an amateur, and I'm just better off playing this week and enjoying it with my buddies. And then when things kind of start to settle down and there's stuff that people specifically might want to enjoy watching me stream, I'll stream some stuff,
Cool. Yeah. Yeah. No, dude,
That's a
like I
diatribe,
said,
but that was my
no, I
thoughts on it.
understand. Yeah. I already said it. But when it comes to the campaign, dude, I solo the whole way through it. I just want to fully engulf myself into the campaign. It's not to say I don't want people in parties, but I just like to a movie, dude, or a book or something. I just like to zone out and just watch it, and play through it. And then as soon as the campaign's over, I jump. I'm like, okay, who's online? And then I jump in with people.
Yeah, and I'm gonna play with
but
my
yeah,
buddy
that's usually the way I
Tank.
do it.
We play every expansion together on release, so
Very
we're gonna
cool.
continue that tradition. So it'll be
Awesome,
fun. I'm
man.
looking forward to it a lot, man. I was
We're gonna
telling
have-
somebody today, this is Destiny Christmas.
Oh yeah. I was about to say we're gonna have a lot to talk about next reset.
Yep.
Next episode. Oh, not that we didn't already.
No doubt. Yeah, it's gonna be, as always, that first episode out is gonna be pretty
Like, what do we talk about?
Yeah,
What did you complete? What?
It's always just a question of, okay, what do we talk about? There's going to be a ton of stuff you get that you can't even cover.
Yep.
So we'll do our best. We'll probably, if I had to guess, end up recording like next Sunday or Monday, as late in the week as we can. Yeah. So we can cover a lot of stuff.
As much as we can for you guys.
Yeah, and also have like all that time to play,
Right. Yep.
We'll probably play while we record, to be honest.
Yeah.
This is one of those like
whatever grinding point we get to.
This is one of those weeks where you got to understand if you hear the clicky clacks. Sorry, guys.
They understand, I'm
Somebody had a good tip on Reddit, and they said if you don't want the clicky clacks from your sticks on your controllers, you can take those little teeny tiny rubber bands, like almost like braces rubber bands, and put them around your sticks so that when it hits the edges, it'll dampen it.
Yeah.
It's like, that's not a bad idea, but you got to be careful because it could limit your range of motion, but it's clever. Like, it could work if you really need it.
Get the extremely small ones.
Yeah. Teeny tiny rubber bands. All right.
Well, there you have it. Our reset.
Do some Dirt Fam discourse and wrap this thing up.
Yeah, let's do it, man. Let's do some Dirt Fam discourse. We got a couple emails. We got several emails this week. We got a couple we're gonna throw on the show this week. One from Mudlin through. Update 2.0.0 surprises is the subject. Greetings, Dirt Fam. While we wait for Forsaken, what was the most surprising thing in Update 2.0 for you? For me, it was that some energy weapons moved to the white primary ammo slot. I was ready for the scarcity of green secondary ammo, but not for white primary ammo, especially if using 2 primary guns. Again, what was the most surprising thing in 2.0 for you guys? Muddling through on Xbox One.
Good question.
We kind of talked about 2.0, but surprising. I mean, what was it for you? Jarring, surprising. I easily can tell you the most exciting thing for me was the title change. I know there was a lot in the update, dude, but I wanted that title and score change so bad. Oh,
you know what the thing I was most surprised about? Little thing is that when the patch came through and reset hit, Cade was gone.
Oh, yep, toast.
Oh, he's
gone.
The
he's
tower,
out doing
dude.
Stuff.
I was not prepared. Yep. I was not ready.
I'm waiting for the what we get.
Yeah,
at
he's
launch.
off at the reef this week, man. Oh man, so many tears. I'm sure that may not be what you were looking through, Muddlin, but it was a good question.
Yeah. Dude, there was just so much. Like, I mean, of course, the weapon slot system. I mean, I'm right there with you. It's just still jarring right now.
It's still a lot to take in, man. I feel like we're gonna feel this way for a good month between the supers and the systems and this. And it was like,
right. I mean, the systems that hasn't. I mean, we're getting even more layers of it when Forsaken drops. Masterworks system, just everything, man.
I may have to bust out a notebook or a spreadsheet or something.
Right? Get out the old Destiny journal book.
Yep.
Yeah.
We have another email from Jack, aka Enforcer12389. Subject Dirt Fam Discourse. So I'm not sure which episode this will make it on, if it will at all. It did. But I wanted to give some thoughts on the game we all love. Sorry for the long message. Been a while coming, so I have a few things to say. I joined the Dirt Fam the summer before Rise of Iron dropped, and if I hadn't, I might have stopped playing Destiny. There are always helpful, friendly, understanding people to play with and teach me, a filthy casual, the complex mechanics of in-game activities. I've never really been a part of an online community, at least one that I felt like I belonged in. Dirt Fam might be the greatest group of people I've ever had the pleasure of spending time with. Each and every person I've played with or have yet to play with, thank you. I'm so grateful for all of your understanding, commitment to fun above all else, and for just being great people. One more personal note, I'm the youngest of 4 boys. I've always loved video games and investment games particularly. My brothers and I are not super close. Not estranged, just not as close as I might like. Last September, though, one of my brothers called, and we were talking about what we've been up to, and I mentioned how excited I was for D2. The next night, he went out and bought it. For the last year, we log in about once a week and play together and catch up. I live about 8 hours away and we are terrible about calling, so it's been really fun getting to know my brother even better and spending time sharing something we enjoy at the same time. I have Destiny to thank for that. I can't wait for Forsaken. I love the podcast and look forward to it every week. If anyone ever sees me on and needs an extra body, I'm always game to join up and bring a very average to below average skill and probably more than a few dad jokes. I'm a hunter. Pineapple should not be on pizza. And I like Ruffles, cheddar, and sour cream chips or hot pork rinds if I just finished a home improvement project. Enforcer.
Dude, what a great email. That pretty much sums it up, man. All the way down to the pineapple on pizza preference and the potato chip preference. We should require that in all our emails.
No doubt. No doubt. Well, thanks for that email, man. I enjoyed reading that. And I'm glad to hear. I love when Destiny brings people together, man.
Yeah, dude. It's such a cool thing. It's hear about the Dirt fam in particular, and then about you and your brothers, man. Like, I was just talking to Houndish about that last week, dude. There's so many people right now. Like, would we even know them? Houndish, having him on the show last week and talking to him across the pond. Holden Court in the Dirt fam, right? I mean, anyone in the Dirt fam, like countries away. It's just so cool to know each other, period, and then to be able to play a game together and talk to each other regularly, right?
Yeah.
All because of one game and the technology we have these days. So it's very cool to hear stories like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for your discourse, guys. If you're listening and you'd like to tell us a great story, ask us what we think about something, or ask a question in the community, you can send us your discourse. Email is destinyresetpodcast@gmail.com, or you can leave a SpeakPipe. It's like a voicemail, speakpipe.com/destinyreset.
Do it, Guardians. Let us know what you're thinking. What you want to talk about.
We'll love to have your feedback next week.
Yes.
On your initial thoughts on Forsaken.
In the weeks to come.
Yeah,
for sure.
So be thinking about this reset after you get through the campaign or some strike, or I don't know, just there's stuff to play. Think about something cool you'd love to tell us about and send it our way. We'll put it on the show next week.
Do it.
All right.
Dirt fan patrons, dude, we've got some like lingering out there. You guys, if you're listening, go check your messages on Patreon. No new ones to shout out this week, but there's a couple Guardians that are pending. We're waiting on that gamer tag.
Awesome.
Go check your messages.
Yeah, go check your messages. If you don't know what a patron is, go to patreon.com/destinyreset, where for as little as $1 a month, you can support the production budget of our show. Get a few perks, like your gamer tag shouted out on the podcast, posted on our website, and you also get an invitation to a Discord channel just for patrons and supporters. We appreciate you if you are a patron of ours. There's quite a few of you.
There is. Thank you guys so much. As you've seen this week, not only does it help produce the show, but it also allows us to give back to the community.
Yeah.
So there you go. Thank you guys.
All right, man. I think we can call it a show.
I think so. Dude, when we stop recording on the show, like, we're not going to have another show until after we play Forsaken.
Ooh, I'm so excited.
How exciting is that? But we got a couple more things here.
All right. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at AER0KNIGHT. YouTube and Twitch is AER0KNIGHT as well. What about you, buddy?
Awesome, and that's with a 0. You can find me at CyborgSasquatch on Twitter and Mixer. You can find us at Destiny Reset on Twitter or on the World Wide Web, www.destinyresetpodcast.com. It's your source for all things DRP. And important, worth mentioning this week, we've got a vibrant and active community on the chat server called Discord. We're a Discord partner, so you can find us really easily by going to discord.gg/destinyreset. Join the Discord, check out the rules and terms of engagement, and hop on in. Find some Guardians to talk to, introduce yourself, and we've got a great community there. If you need players to hang out with, play with, or just talk Destiny with, it's a fun place to be.
Yes, and of course, once you get in there, we've got a clan sign-up channel. We of course got Dirt Fam clans that you can jump in if you're interested. So
Absolutely.
whole community thriving out there, guys.
All right. Thank you for your continued iTunes reviews. We've got some to shout out this week.
Man, go for it.
Okay.
So many.
God's Hammer, Derezed Glitch, Chad Z, The King Shannon, Skeeter1, Steely's Fan, Dot Carter, Cheesy137, Caboose's Hero, Brenaldix, and Calma67. Thank you for your reviews.
Thank you guys so much.
So many.
So many. Dude, yeah, like well past 200 at this point. You guys are awesome.
Absolutely.
Forsaken's technically not even here yet.
No doubt. All right, man.
All right, dude. We're not even gonna do any fluff. Like as soon as we stop recording, like it's almost go time.
I'll see you on the other side.
Until next week, have fun playing Destiny 2 and take care, Guardians.